stories and whatnot and everything. And on the 8-track player was the soundtrack to the movie Barry Lyndon, which was all classical music and stuff. So we're driving along. He's telling me about Mothman, okay? And I'm saying, was this around here? No, in West Virginia. Oh, okay, because I was here. And so we're just driving along, the music's playing, and all of a sudden bagpipes came on. And I went, oh, bagpipes. I interrupted him, and he goes, and he did a double take. I saw it. You know, he did a double take at me. He says, "Do you like bagpipes?" Oh, I love them. Ever since I heard him when I was 9, I just loved him. And he was totally shocked. He told me later he'd never dated a girl that loved bagpipes. And he said that it usually took him 2 weeks dating a girl to know if it was going to go anywhere or not. So 2 weeks passed. Hadn't found anything wrong yet, And 3 weeks, and then a month, and he's starting to get worried. Because he hadn't found anything wrong with me yet. So, the first time Mom met him, our first date was on April 23rd. And we met at church. And there's a whole story how we even got to the same church. And that's totally a God thing. God led us together, no doubt about it. April 23rd is first date. We got engaged in June, middle of June, and got married in December, so it was very fast. So anyway, around Mother's Day, my mother came down to visit, and she met Mike for the first time. And he had just got done helping on a work day at church. So he's hot and sweaty, and then they were playing basketball, so he was a mess. And he had this full beard, and not quite as long as Jerry's and Donnie's, but it was a full beard. She hates beards. And, or she did then. She's had to live with it now because all the grandsons have them. But, so she was sitting in the car, I think, with you and somebody else, because you guys had stopped by on your way to something. And I said, "Okay, Mom, this is Mike, this is Mom," and stuff. So they said hi and stuff, and then he ran off to finish playing basketball. And she looks at me, she goes, "Yuck." And I said, "Mom, when you talk to him and get to know him, you're going to fall in love with him." So then, I think it was the next week, and it was Mother's Day, but she came down and took us out to dinner. Mike and I and Patty and her family. And we were eating veal parmesan. Okay. And I'm wearing a white dress. And he's sitting, I'm sitting next to him, Mom's sitting across. And I'm telling Mom all this stuff that we have in common. And I said, the only things we don't have in common yet are coconut and John Wayne. And he says, "Can you believe it? She thinks John Wayne's a bad actor." And when he said that, he hit the table. He hit his fork